What up, you guys? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 263. And this chapter didn't disappoint, man. It really didn't disappoint. I love how it opens up with Chopper saying he's a real pirate now. And it just really adds to the payoff of the last chapter where you look at it and Chopper managed to finish off a pretty impressive opponent on his own without getting any help. And so to see him sitting there drinking from his canteen after having a brief moment where he freaks out and he's like, oh my god, he's gonna get out of his bog. And I don't think that guy is finished because he said he needed to escape and he sunk further into his own bog. So I just love the fact that we did see Chopper get a victory. So that was cool. I wouldn't mind it if this kind of came back up, but for the sake of payoff, it has to be, I feel like it has to end this way because I don't foresee Chopper catching this dude off guard again. Now, what I really love about this chapter though, right? The tag team work between Nami and Gan Fall, that was really, really good, man. This is going to be one of those scenes I can't wait to see it animated, and the reason is the strategy involved. Like, you see Nami and Gan Fall, they're getting really upset because Hotori and his brother, they're attacking Sanji and Usopp, who have passed out from the injuries because of what Enel did to them. So their whole reasoning behind this is they're saying, yo, you know what? They beat up Big Brother Satori. We got to take care of them. So I like how that cruelty is there. And then one other thing I thought was really interesting is how they've gone back. Like, Oda's gone back and incorporated some of the gags. And that's what I really loved about the first part of Dragon Ball, like the first 180 something chapters. It was very gag heavy. And I like how when one of them gets the drop on Nami, you think it's an impact dial and you're going, oh my god, she's going to get wrecked, right? It's not the case. They have the most disgusting gag ever inside of their scent dials, and they have four. They have impact, they have scent, they have flame, and there's one other. I can't remember what it was. There's one other dial, but inside their scent dials, they have their farts packed into them. So Nami just gets hit full frontal with a fart, and I'm guessing it stinks pretty damn bad because of the facial expression she's making. And right there, that was pretty funny. That's that dirty humor, man. You know, Oda's coming off like a dirty old man right now. So I like that. But what was very interesting is how even though Gan Fall is completely battered and tattered up, right, he still manages to take out one of them. You know, there's this brief scuffle that goes on. It looks like Gan Fall actually gets knocked off of the ship, but he's actually hanging on just barely. And in his legs, he has that huge lance that he has, and he manages to go up and he tells one of them, hey, you shouldn't underestimate your opponents because this is what happens when you do. And we see this really cool panel where he's actually been taken out. And I like the attention to detail that Oda placed into that panel. But what I thought was very cool just about all of this, though, is Gan Fall looks like he's about to pass out. And it makes you wonder, how strong is this dude if he's able to do this much damage while he's that banged up? And it really makes you wonder, is Oda really preparing for maybe a Gan Fall versus Enel type of fight? Because it just seems like power scaling wise, you have to have the former Kami and the current Kami go at it. So I'm really interested to know if that's where it's going. That's not really a chapter question. It's just me kind of spitballing out loud. But the other thing that happens is he tells Nami, I can't fight anymore. I need you to get my gauntlet. And as smart as Nami is, the fact that she has to ask what a gauntlet is, I felt a little disappointed. She had a Luffy moment. I'm just going to start calling idiot moments Luffy moments. I know Luffy isn't a complete idiot. He's more of a troll, but it just feels appropriate. So she had her Luffy moment, and that's when Gan Fall's bird gives her the gauntlet. And right away, she's like, this is too heavy. I can't use this. And it's because it's made from iron from the Blue Sea. So obviously, it's going to be heavy. But the thing is Nami, slowly throughout the fight, she's been using that weird weapon that Usopp created for, the one that I thought might have been a dud. And the thing is that she's creating the conditions for a typhoon. And she actually tricks one of them into using his flame dial in order to heat the atmosphere up. So she's trying to get the perfect conditions together. And what ends up happening is she doesn't make the typhoon, but she creates the fog between the hot air and the cold air. She creates the fog. And I like the strategies involved in this. She manages to get the drop on the guy, and she puts the gauntlet right in front of his face. And this was so savage. This was so savage. She sticks her tongue out, and she says this might hurt a little bit, and hits him full on with the blast from the impact dial that's inside that gauntlet. That was so incredible, man. That was like a highlight for the chapter for me. But the highlight of the chapter is watching Enryu or Enel sit down and say, I won't move for 5 minutes. You can try to kill me. Now, I don't know if this is going the route that, Goku versus Frieza did. I'm talking in the manga, not so much in the anime. The anime is the longest fight in animated history. But that was a long-ass fight, even in the manga, for 5 minutes. It went by kind of quick based on action, but I'm really interested. Is Oda just going to flash forward 5 minutes? It's like, I gave you 5 minutes. You couldn't even do this? But this dude is so cocky. And based on the current power scales, I don't know who manages to take this dude out. That is really interesting. Like, he's really coming off like Aizen in the Soul Society arc. Like, when Aizen got revealed to be the bad guy, he's taking out captain level fighters like nothing. They're dropping like this. And it just showed you right away, like, oh shoot, this dude Aizen, he's something serious. It's the same thing with Enryu or Enel. It's the same thing. So I'm really interested to know who is going to end up eventually taking him out. I know it's probably going to be Luffy, but again, I think it has to be a tag team effort. And then closing, one other thing that's taking place in this chapter is we're looking at Miss All Sunday or Nico Robin, and she's kind of been run through the ringer, man. So I really want to know who it is that she's fighting, because it would seem like she wouldn't have that much difficulty. But the thing that I want to just kind of wrap this up with and focus heavily on is going to be, I like how, once again, Oda is using parallels. I like how every character, no matter how small, he manages to give them a shining moment. Even going as far back as like chapter 3 of, or no, it's chapter 5, I believe. Chapter 5 of One Piece. Like, a character as small and insignificant, as useless as Kobe. Kobe played an instrumental role in getting Zoro free. Every character, no matter how small, manages to bring them into the forefront of the chapter in some kind of way. And even for a shonen mangaka, right? Like, a lot of times they have women characters and kind of just shove them to the background, right? That's not what happens with Oda. With Oda, we see the exact opposite. Oda is actually having Nami finish off villains. Like, he's having Nami take out different characters in the fights and contribute in different ways. And then on the other side, we see the setup for Nico Robin and do the same thing, but Robin is in dire straits. So one wins, the other one's in dire straits. So just to see those parallels, really good writing on that end. But also, I like how the small character like Chopper is getting his shine. Like, this is good, because a lot of times the main character, especially one that's so beloved like Luffy, that's the one that the mangaka will find a way to push into every chapter, even if it's just in passing with a reference. And in this, Oda did reference Luffy, but Chopper was saying, maybe I'll surprise all of them. So it's really talking about the whole crew and not just Luffy in particular. So I like how Oda is managing to build up these characters without actually having them depend on Luffy. That's one of the big gripes I have with a lot of shonens, is the character interactions, particularly with side characters. It only really takes place if they're directly tied to the main character. That's a huge problem I have with Hinata Hyuga from Naruto, or Hime Inoue from Bleach, Sakura Haruno from Naruto. Like, I hate one of those characters, but I dislike the way they were handled, because they were directly tied to a main character, and their growth, like, literally, it's right there. If you take away their interactions, their characters are useless. So I like how Oda's not making this mistake. My chapter question for you all is going to be, what were your thoughts when you saw Enel basically saying, I'll give you 5 minutes to finish me off. What were your thoughts on that? And the reason I'm asking is I want to know who you guys were thinking at this point would end up taking out Enel, and how else you think that the fight would take place. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. I will greatly appreciate it. Stalk the social media. As always, thanks for watching. Have a